What is up? Welcome into Driving the Nightline. My name is Alan Bell. We got a fantastic show lined up for you here. Big Mosh, what's good, bro? How we doing?
Doing well. I like having two appearances on the day with DTL. It's fun.
I know. I like having you twice as well. You know, solid, my boy. Speaking of solid, yesterday, 3 out of 4. Let's go. All right, field goal plays worked. I am down to continue those. If you saw the morning show here at Driving the Line, yep, I'm in for those, man. 1-1 there for you. Cubs Giants, no runs first inning, no Yankees minus 1.5. Yeah, they went off, bro. You were all over them yesterday, man. Good call on that.
We also hit the I wasn't sure if I should include it in the recap screen, but we also hit the 4 runs from the Braves parlay with 4 runs from the Phillies. That was a fun parlay piece as well that we cashed as a crew. So
yeah,
wasn't terrible.
Yeah. No. I like it, man. I like it. Now, Big Don asks, AB, is Georgia Tech a good parlay piece for this weekend? I think so. And we're going to get into that in just 1 second here. So, all right, Big Mosh, let's go ahead and jump in. And if everybody could hit the like button, that'd be huge. If you're watching on your phone, just grab the screen, pull it down, hit the like button, pop it right back up. It would help out a ton today. A ton, I promise you. Appreciate you. All right. So, Mosh, let's jump into it, man. Picks, what you got, bro?
Yeah, I see Jason in the chat already starting to speak my language. Yeah, give me the Phillies team total. I accidentally sent this as the full game. I meant first 7, so it's Phillies first 7 team total over 3.5 at minus 140. I don't mind the full game over 4.5 either. I think the Phillies are going to keep mashing. Listen, Bryce Elder has been shaky, and even though he's been semi-okay recently, I do not think that he's going to be able to handle this Philly offense twice, if we remember correctly. And Ranger Suarez, I want nothing to do with. I think that he's going to have a good start, but again, this is the Braves team that can go off at any time for any reason. Give me the Yankees also on the run line. Who's going to stop them? The White Sox? I know the White Sox aren't being the pushovers of old, right? They're starting to mash, but again, this is the Yankees in a very, very good groove. I do not think that Yoandres Gomez, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, will be able to stop them. He has a very large barrel rate over the year at 12.1%. Not a good recipe for success against this hot Yankee team. Also, going to take the Pirates in the first inning again. Money line minus 115. I don't understand this price. We're getting Paul Skeens on the mound. I know the Red Sox are a great team and a great team at home, but this is Paul Skeens on the mound. I don't care who you're putting up there. I'm going to take a shot on a team that ranks 13th in the last week, 5th at home in scoring in the read that wrong. 6th on the road in the first inning, 4th in the last month, 10th in the last 2 weeks, and 4th in the last week. Those are great numbers for not a great team. I'm going to continue betting them to roll in the first inning. And last but not least, I'm parlaying the Cubs' first 5 money line with the full game run line at minus 1.5. The Rockies have been not being pushed over, but it's going to stop at some point. German Marquez has only gone 2 times this entire year without letting up a run. Once in the first start of the season, and second time was just maybe a month ago. He's coming off an injury, and I do not think that he's going to be ready to pitch to this Cubs team, even if they're not exactly the hottest team in baseball right now. That's it for me. 4 plays. Let's get it done.
There we go. Your endings are tough to pick up on. I have no idea if you're going to keep going or not.
AB, you want to know something?
What?
Neither do I.
I know. That's why I just sit there and let it sit for a second. Big Tim said AB could lock in on college football, leave the Major League Baseball to Big Mosh. You know what? Not a bad idea. All right. So Big Don was talking about parlays. Yeah, I think Georgia Tech is. Now, look, I'm already on Georgia Tech minus 4, also on over 2.5 field goals, right? So not throwing them in any further parlays or anything like that for me, but yeah, absolutely. I think Georgia Tech is a good parlay piece, right? So tonight, App State, UNLV. I'm going to put both of those money lines together. Get it at plus 115. App State against Charlotte, home opener. Well, opening game for both teams. I say that because UNLV They've already played one game, and they're going up against Sam Houston, who is already 0-1 on the year. UNLV 1-0 on the year. Look, I think App State handles their business tonight. I think UNLV handles their business tonight. Let me get both of those. Now, Auburn also plays tonight. Now, Tim said Auburn and App State make me nervous. Me too, bro. Me too. But what I'm going to try to do is set up a parlay to have something for overnight. Auburn plays tonight against Baylor, and I agree. I mean, you see a spread that is super tight, super low, and rightfully so. But I do think Auburn wins the game. I'm not going to mess anything with a spread. Now, Tennessee plays tomorrow against Syracuse at 11 a.m. Okay? So, I think Tennessee handles their business against Syracuse, and you don't have to play anything with a spread, like 13.5. Take all that out. We just need Auburn to beat Baylor. And overnight, you're going to get a cash out option. And that's kind of what I'm looking at too. Now, I mean, Tennessee could lose to Syracuse. That could absolutely happen. I don't think that it happens, but it absolutely happens. So we'll see, man. But I'm going to roll with Auburn here. We're going to find out about both teams a little bit. I mean, they'll both continue to get better through the year. You would hope if you're an Auburn or Baylor fan. Any thoughts on that, Moshe?
Not really. Still getting my lay of the land in college football. I never went to college. This is all more or less new for me. I didn't grow up with it, but I love watching it. Like watching some of these games like last night and coming up it's last week. It's been great. I love football. But no real expert analysis on my end from college football yet.
No, it's honest. I like it. All right, let's jump into home runs for today. Now, we did this earlier, but we can talk about it again. Who you like today? Just on the board, off the board, wherever.
Yeah, we're going to go to that Philly Braves game. I really like the weather here, and I like picking on Ranger Suarez a little bit. Give me Jurickson Profar, 1+ home run at plus 550. All right, this guy, he hasn't hit a homer against him yet, but he is batting .313 in 16 plate appearances. And in the last week, he's batting .409 with 2 home runs. In the last 2 weeks, he's hit 6 home runs. This is a trend that I kind of like to continue betting on. And I think he has a fantastic look, right? 11 miles per hour wind blowing out, 80 miles per hour, 80 Fahrenheit degrees it's out there. So yeah, give me Jurickson Profar. And then the other one, I'm just going back to the well, Nick Kurtz. I'm just going to keep betting him until he hits it. It's plus 255, which isn't great, but
what was that? What was that on Fahrenheit? You got that down?
Catch me on my slip-ups. Yeah, it's about 80 degrees out here. I'm in Philly, so it's about 80 degrees out. It's going to be good batting weather.
As long as it's not 80 degrees Celsius.
I don't think
that'd be a problem.
Humans could live in that condition.
No, we wouldn't be live anymore. Austin Thompson says, you can't pay me to bet on Auburn this weekend. I feel you. I do. I feel you.
Would you take a showdown on a parlay?
No, I'm not. I don't feel that comfortable with Auburn. Like, yeah, Baylor could blow them out. Brian Blade said, I took Army -6.5, Baylor +7. I love that Baylor +7.5. Love it. Especially getting it over that key number 7. Oh, and getting Army under the key number. Look, Brian ain't no greenhorn, boy. He got that down. That's how you do it right there. -6.5, got the right side of 7, +7.5, got on the right side of 7. That's how you do it right there, man. Tim said, you could pay me to bet them. Tizzle, AB, you think Bishop gets 70 yards or are they going to go running back committee? Both. So I'll tell you, Deshaun Bishop, the running back for Tennessee, is who he's talking about. He will, yeah. Tennessee's going to run the football a lot. Now, it is going to be by committee. Okay. And I'll tell you this. All right. You're going to see a dude, Peyton Lewis. Okay. If he gets out there, this dude will absolutely goal line snake touchdowns. I don't know. Like, I don't have player props in college in Tennessee, so I can't see what's available. But Peyton Lewis, like, if he's good to go, Peyton Lewis, anytime touchdown. I'm just telling you.
By the way, I like watching those two, the running back duos. I like it. It gives a nice change of pace for the offense, and I think for the defense, it really is hard to keep up the personnel on the other side into what to expect. We saw a little bit in a game that didn't go quite as we thought it would, right, against South Florida with Boise, but it worked. Gosh darn, they did travel down the field very efficiently with those two running backs, and it worked really well until they decided to give up that game plan. I really like watching that. It's fun.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, Tennessee's breaking in a brand new quarterback tomorrow, Joey Aguilar. He just got there a month and a half, 2 months ago, 3 months ago. So they're not going to go super risky.
Yeah.
They're going to ease him into this thing.
Who was it, Mayfield, that learned an entire playbook in like 3 days? It wasn't it Mayfield who went to a new team and just learned the whole playbook in basically 3 days and went out balling and the most complicated play structures and whatnot. Not everyone's going to be a Baker Mayfield. You got to ease the new quarterbacks into a system and lean on your running staff.
Yep. 100%. 100%. And we saw it from Tennessee last year. That offense slowed down a lot, but they did it to use their defense, and it worked. I mean, they got in the college football playoff, right? Heupel showed he's not afraid to slow a game way down. He did it all the time last year, basically Oklahoma game and on. Now, granted, behind the scenes, there were quarterback issues going on, but even still, yeah. So to answer your question, Tizzle, yeah, it'll be by committee, but they'll all eat because they're going to get a ton of opportunities. And this offensive line can go. They've been together a little bit. So, yeah, definitely.
Missed some of those offensive miscues in the first game or two back where you just flinch a little bit, or get nervous and you move a little ttoo early or whatever it is. When you have a group that's coming back, when you have an offensive line that's coming back, it's really
I'll give you a secret. It's funny that you bring that up. That's a real thing. Not only in week 1, but in the first series of any week, right? Offensive lines, they're kind of like cars. They need a minute to kind of warm up, and you'll see it on first drives. Do you know what offensive linemen hate opening a game up with the most?
A pass?
A deep pass. Because
get the flow
hard. Pass protection is hard. Run blocking is one thing. You're moving forward, right? Pass protection, you're not the aggressor. So it's a very risky time to get blown up. So you're going to see a lot of teams open with a whole lot of running just to get the offensive line a couple snaps in. Watch. Especially if it's a team with a young quarterback or a new quarterback.
Is this something that we could bet? First play of the game rush? I'm sure it's juice.
Well, I don't. Some states can. So college betting is different than pro. Some states allow you to bet props. Some don't. Tennessee, I can't. So those options aren't available to me. You know what I mean? But you're seeing Peyton Lewis anytime touchdown -105. Yeah, you've got player props, but you'll also have game props. You'll see it in the NFL too. There's no different. NFL linemen, if anything, NFL linemen are even more like that. Veteran teams, like veteran line teams, they'll absolutely open with runs.
I think they call it setting the tone.
Setting the tone. It's also relax. Because let me also tell you, that buildup before a game is unbelievably real. And you could gas yourself not doing anything, but just sitting in the locker room waiting. You know, there's a lot of waiting that goes on in football. A lot of it. Like, you'll go out beforehand and you'll stretch. Then you'll come back in, throw some pads on, right? Then you'll go out for warm-ups, individual, team, side, etc. Then you'll come back in. You wait. In these games, everything has TV, commercial. So you wait. And you know what I mean? Like, you could gas yourself, dude. Like, just sitting there being amped. So I think we've seen it a lot already, especially these colleges. Like, it's pretty rare to see a team just absolutely come in, open it up. You know? But the other problem is that, remember that betting college and betting the NFL, you know what the biggest difference, Moshe, in betting those two sports? I'll tell you. The biggest difference is the clock. The NFL clock barely stops. Like, the NFL unders are good. College can get out of control with clock stoppages. Like, I'm not saying don't play unders in college. That's what we've seen. What I'm saying is it's a harder grind. You know, 5 minutes in real time is, 5 minutes in the NFL, right? In college, 5 minutes in real time is like 20 seconds. It feels like these quarters when you have an under, it feels like they can go long, especially if a team's throwing a lot and throwing incompletions or dudes catching it going out of bounds. So.
We also have so many more explosive plays that really kill good defense. You can play phenomenal defense, right, in the NFL, and it carries through and slows the game down. In college,
let me tell you, it's impossible to play defense. I used to, I'm a fan like anybody else, right? And like I used to, you get upset, defense, busted play, whatever. Then it's like, dude, everything they do is a penalty. I mean, playing cornerback in the NFL is impossible. It's impossible.
Like, you just have to learn how to grab them when the ref's not looking.
I mean, and you're still going to get flagged. It's always on the defense. It's brutal. You know what I mean? So, it's hard to even get mad. Like, roughing the passer penalties. Like, what do you want defensive linemen to do? Grab him, go matrix in the air in real time? Like,
that split second
you
between.
You can make a great play and get penalized 15 yards at a first down. What were you gonna say?
No. That was exactly it. We watched that in the Boise game, right? They got basically a 3-and-out, right? And then that last play, they got a sack, and then the whistle happened, and he continued the motion of flinging the quarterback down to the ground. He was penalized 15 yards for roughing the passer, and that's just not fair for someone's instincts and reflexes. That's not a realistic time frame to be able to stop yourself mid-action. Especially not when you're 18 to 22.
No, I know. Brian Blade says Tennessee Syracuse could look a lot like Nebraska Cincinnati. AB's over 2.5 field goal prop could be great on this game if offered. 1,000%. And Tennessee has a kicker named Max Gilbert who will go from 60. I'm not kidding. The kid's got a cannon. This is a great call. I'm upset I don't have it already. It'll be on there tomorrow. That's a great play. I completely agree. Because there's a big spread on this game, but Syracuse is not bad, and both teams are breaking in brand new quarterbacks, and especially it's one thing most to move the ball between the 20s, right? So 20, 30, 40, 50, 40, 30, 20 inside the 20s. It's one thing to move the ball there. It's another thing to move the ball outside the 20s, right? The red zone or backed up in your own end zone. You could see drives absolutely stall with two brand new quarterbacks to each team. 100%. There could be, I'll stop there, but that's a great call. I completely agree. It's going to be like that in a lot of games. A lot of them. Actually, North Carolina with Belichick. Belichick will absolutely take every single point. It's not like he's going to coach different than he did with the Patriots. And that dude, early, smart. In the first half, you take every point you can get.
And it builds up. And when you give away a fourth down, right, you go for it and you miss it.
Yeah. North Carolina game could be a good one for that, too. Over 2.5. But North Carolina could honestly get that on their own.
All right, can I bring it to the other football?
Yeah.
We didn't talk about it this morning, and I couldn't believe that it didn't come up. Micah Parsons is no longer a Cowboy.
No.
I almost just cursed.
I'll say this. I'm going to give Jerry Jones credit here. Jerry Jones tried to pull this off. But at the end of the day, the money that Micah wanted, it was already spent elsewhere. And I get it. If it were a caliber of Micah Parsons, but offensive, would not have done it. But defensive, I mean, again, I'm not saying that it was the smart move. I'm just saying I can understand. I can understand what he's saying.
Listen, just from my perspective, just because someone spins it well,
this is real. Like the salary cap thing is real. I get it. Here's the other thing. I love it for Green Bay. You're getting one of the best defensive players in the league.
They're instantly a Super Bowl contender, and that's basically kind of saying that they may not have been already.
Yeah. There's another part of this too. Micah Parsons wanted out. It reached a point where it was too far gone. And that's why I say, I get it to where Jerry's saying, even if I paid him, it just might not be the same. I get it. I'm not saying that it's smart.
So
ahead of it, but again,
when I listened to his press conference, right, he mentioned specifically, we need a defense that can stop people in the playoffs. He said that. Those are words from his mouth. In the same sentence, he's saying he's getting rid of one of the premier talents on defense in the entire league.
It's also Jerry Jones. I agree with you. I
feel so bad. And this is something that I heard elsewhere, but you lost Luka Doncic and Micah Parsons in the same year. That is brutal. Both of those people are franchise milestones that you point to and say, this is who our team is built around. And I know that he's a defensive player, not an offensive player, and maybe that goes into it. But from my perspective, the defense is what counts and gets you to the end, not your offense. Cowboys' offense scored points last year. That wasn't their problem. Their problem was they couldn't stop people from scoring. You just gave up your best defensive weapon.
But they couldn't stop anybody with him.
So you build around him.
You only have so much money. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not baseball. Like, you only have so much. Like, I, again, am not backing Jerry in full, but I do get it in this. If it were an offensive wide receiver, I'd pay him. Look at the Bengals. Again, I'm not saying that they're right, but they did get they found a way to get the job done, with Trey Hendrickson. But, I mean, they lost everybody else. It's hard. That's why I say, bro, the best way to go about things in life, in anything, is how the Ravens and the 49ers and the Packers and the Steelers, like, these organizations are healthy. They don't get too far down where you get stuck in these positions. You know what I mean? Like, again, I'm not saying that those teams are out here winning every Super Bowl. The Eagles got themselves to that spot. The Chiefs have been there, right? Like, you just got to get yourself, like where, the Cowboys have also had crazy injuries. Dak, again, you can go back to that. Was that the right move? Like, you're not going to find a whole lot of Jerry Jones support from me in full. But this one, like, it reached a point where it's like, I love you, but I cannot.
So then, from my perspective, you messed up somewhere else.
Oh, yeah.
Like there was somewhere else down the line where you effed up that you couldn't hang on to a generational talent like that. You do whatever you need to do to make him happy.
I mean, that's been the problem is that, it's always, well, every offseason it's a big hole to fix. So you throw all the money into that hole. It's like, if you're trying to fix like patches of grass in your yard, the minute it's whack-a-mole, and you chase all these things and you throw money at it. But, once you throw money at it from one side, that money's coming from somewhere else.
I hear that. But I see in the chat, people are like paying the quarterback too much money may have been a mistake. And honestly, I think that was the Giants' downfall, right? Paying Daniel Jones all that money for what? They also lost their generational talent, Saquon Barkley, last year, which
look, what you're saying is kind of what Tizzle's saying, and this is the correct answer. Teams with good QBs on rookie contracts save franchises. Don't think it's talked about enough. You can build around that. Absolutely.
It's just so hard to find a QB in his rookie year on his rookie contract who can play well. Like, there's very few franchises that can build a quarterback the right way. Like, Green Bay has figured it out 3 times in a row. I mean, maybe 4 times in a row, right? Brett Starr all the way back. You get most of these quarterbacks that come into the league, we don't know how to properly train them to be acclimated to the NFL level. And we throw them into the fire and then they burn. And there's not a lot they can do about it because they're either not protected well enough, they're not prepared mentally well enough. Whatever it is, we see them fail year after year.
Well, yeah, and look, Purple Hawk said it best right here. These conversations are like nobody's been paying attention to how the Cowboys have been run. They haven't won since the 90s. The 90s. What Jerry just did is what keeps the Cowboys in the news. Spot on. He also has, like, that's part of it. Like, you're getting part Carney, part Vince McMahon. The Jones family and the McMahon family have a lot of similarities in regards to it. And it's also, like, I agree with that. And that's kind of what, like, I was getting at is, like, there's a lot of mistakes that have led up to not being able to, pay Micah Parsons. And the Cowboys, I mean, Jerry, this is what happens when you don't have football people setting plans and making decisions. I'm telling you, like, Tennessee college football, for 20 years, Jimmy Haslam, the now owner of the Browns, I'm telling you, this dude was an anchor around everything because he gave the most money. And his money was real money. I mean, there are buildings named after his brother was the governor. Like, his dad played there, gives all the money, like real power. And this guy for 20 years thought that he could make the right decisions. Now, understand, this is a guy who grew up rich. I'm not taking away. I mean, he also owns Pilot Flying J, like the gas stations, the massive money. His brother just bought the Nashville Predators for fun. Like, massive money. But it's a dude who grew up wealthy. Make no mistake about that. And number two, this isn't like gas station money. Like, this dude don't know about football. You know what I mean? That's why when I was talking about the Patriots the other day on here. Again, I'm not saying the Patriots and Mike Vrabel are going to go out here and win a Super Bowl. But reading and listening to what they're saying is they're setting the roots for what you do with a stable franchise. And they have the perfect owner. Robert Kraft just fired Gerard Mayo after 1 year. The most safe person on planet Earth in job protection is Mike Vrabel, because they ain't doing that again. And he definitely ain't doing it to another player for the Patriots as well. You know what I'm saying? So Mike Vrabel's the safe. Like, everyone is absolutely safe. If you are down with what Mike Vrabel wants, you are in. If you are not, you are out. You will not win that power battle. You know what I'm saying? So, like, in the way that they're talking about, they have the most free agency, the most available salary cap money right now. And they're already setting plans on how much of that to spend, how much to convert over, the draft going by. And all teams do this, but they're doing this properly. So it's not going to be immediate, but I'm just telling you, I saw Mike Vrabel do the same thing in Nashville here. He did the same thing, and he knows what he's doing. So I didn't mean to go that long of a diatribe on that, but just going back to what you were talking about, right? Like, you could have some real George Steinbrenner, before he passed away, one of the smartest businessmen that there were. He knew he ain't managing the team. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. These teams where everybody has good folks that are healthy in their jobs, like, it's once you start getting that I'm worried people are going to get fired, that's when politics start coming. I assure you, Mike Vrabel will kill all of that political crap.
When there's 100%. If there's things going on other than football and you're being distracted, it comes out on the field. And when you have a coach that is aligned with the management, that has a direction and has full control, you're going to be a competitive team. And I feel like the Giants were like this for a while, even though they didn't have the star players, they didn't have the fancy whatever, but they were competitive because they had one vision and competent management.
Oh yeah. And remember, Mike Vrabel left the Titans. Yeah, he was quote unquote fired, but I mean, he told them, like, you're gonna have to go ahead and find, like, I'm leaving and I'm not coming back. So you do whatever you need to do paperwork wise, but this is OV. So I respect it completely. These jobs aren't easy to get. And he was like, nope. And look, the Titans immediately had the first overall pick in the draft. Immediately. I'm just telling you, like, this dude's got a plan. And, they've got a lot of former chief front office people as well. Packers too. Elliott Wolf up there. I'm just telling you. If they hit in the draft, watch out. All right. Any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Yeah, I got 2 half-unit plays if we got time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got 2 team totals that I like. One's in the first 7, one's in the first 5. Give me the Rays first 7 team total over 3.5 at -110. Again, I took this at a half unit. I would Have taken it at a full unit, except for two reasons. One, the Rays just crashed hard in their last two games out against Cleveland. Didn't score a lot, but they were sixth in run creation before that in the last 2 weeks. So I do like them as a hot offense overall. And Mitchell Parker is the other reason. He has given up, 28 runs over his last 5 games.
Nice.
And that's spread evenly. That's not like he gave up 9 and 1, 0 in the next. No. He gave up a minimum of, I think, 4 or 5 in each of those games. And I really can't see him turning back. The only reason is maybe Rays don't hit lefties so well, but I think the Rays are going to mash on him. Give me the first 7 team total over 3.5. And the other one, this one, I had a little bit of trouble. I was going back and forth. I wanted to attack the game, and I wasn't exactly sure how. But the Rangers Athletics game, right? Rangers scored, I think, 20 runs yesterday or the day before. It was an absolute mash fest. So I'm not so sure about how they're going to handle it today, but I wanted to pick on Jack Leiter. He has great stuff. He really does. He has great stuff, but he's inconsistent. His underlying metrics are not good. And I can go through them. 11.5% barrel rate, 47% hard hit rate. Like, those are not numbers that you want for consistency. And he has pitched incredibly well lately. So I kind of feel like regression's happening. Give me the Athletics first 5 team total over 2.5.
Nice. Well done. Purple said they don't get the credit. Seahawks front office top 3 in the NFL. Foundation is beyond strong. Yeah, Schneider and them. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah. And been doing it too. Look, moving on from Pete Carroll wasn't an easy decision. Not an easy decision, but they did it. Moving on from Russell Wilson, not an easy decision, but they did it. Right? Like,
seems Seattle, like they got off that train at the right time, though. Sorry.
Oh, perfect. Like, bro, I'm telling, like, they absolutely, like, I completely agree with this. It reminds me very similar of Howie Roseman and the Eagles, of how they operate. Like they know exactly what they want, exactly what they need, and they're not willing to be like they're not afraid to be aggressive. Sorry. They're not afraid to be aggressive in going after what they want because they have a plan. I completely agree with this.
And when you saw Geno Smith come out and follow through in that plan, people's jaws were on the floor. That was an incredible experience watching him just step in and fire away. Like, I don't know if anyone saw it coming.
Yeah, look, they got a good coach staff, man. Dude is straight up like Harbaugh teachings, mentor type thing. I'll take that all day. Like, those dudes are serious. Like, you even see them in the preseason. Like, if they line up to play football, they take it seriously. They take, like, their life is football. Their family is football. If you're not ready for that commitment, you will not be on that team long. And that's where it comes down to, is that those dudes, they coach. Like, they get along with people, but who's in charge from day one. And I've said it before. Same thing with companies, same thing with anything. You have to have someone be an ass. I'm sorry. I'm not saying be offensive, like, we're not saying any of that, but
nobody improves when you're comfortable. There's no reason to.
You have to. The dynamic, it forces it. If you don't have it, the issues will flounder like weeds. It's absolutely something at the door you have to check from second one, and never, ever, ever give it, like, to anybody that checks it. Any of that. You don't back an inch ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's on him. Because Jimmy Johnson told this to me personally. He said, "You're the only one with a hammer, and you have to use it." If Jimmy Johnson says it, I'm in. I'm gonna believe it. You know what I mean? So, Hawk said moving from Russell Wilson might be the best move. Literally. I mean, to have the stones to do that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta really, because you're putting your ass on the line. If that doesn't work
look at
out,
the Colts.
You're like, what do you mean? You had a great quarterback. What are you doing?
Look at the Colts.
Peyton?
Even when you make the right decision, right? Like Peyton was done. It's Andrew Luck. I get it. You know what I mean? But even when you make the right decision, still don't mean,
Hey, we make the right bets all the time. Doesn't mean they cash.
We'll see how these field goals, these parlays go. All right. Hit your picks one more time and we'll get out of here because I got to go do radio here in a minute. In Memphis. There we go. All right, what you got?
Yeah, we got the Phillies team total in the first 7 innings. Sorry about the typo. Over 3.5, -140. I like the Yankees on the run line, -1.5 at -130. Give me the Pirates first inning money line, -115. And last but not least, a Cubs same game parlay, -115. Cubs first 5 money line parlayed with the Cubs run line at -1.5.
There we go. All right. I'm going to take Appalachian State money line, UNLV money line +115. Also, any Appalachian State fans out there, apologies for just writing App State. I know. Well, no. I've got friends that went there, and when people say Appy State, don't like it. Same thing with people who live or from Atlanta. When people call it Hotlanta, don't do it. So Appalachian State, I just ran out of space, but it's the Appy State that does it. You don't do that. All right. Appalachian State money line, UNLV money line +115, Auburn money line, and Tennessee money line. Auburn plays tonight. Tennessee plays tomorrow. Gonna test out some stuff, see if we can get a little overnight parlay because we have games on Sunday and we have games on Monday. So gonna kind of mess around with this theory here, see if we can mess around, steal some parlay money. How's that sound, man?
I'm in. I'm always in.
There we go. All right, everybody, thank you so much. Great into the week. I really appreciate all of you. We'll be live tomorrow, normal time, 10 a.m. Eastern, breaking down. I mean, what do we have, 100 games tomorrow? Like, it's here. It's for real here tomorrow. And remember, Ohio State, Texas, that's 11 a.m. Tennessee, Syracuse, hiding behind it also at 11 a.m. Like, these games get going early. So we're going to be fully prepared, ready to go. So, Moshe, appreciate you, buddy. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everybody in the crew, everybody watching. Let's have a good night. Let's cash these tickets, and we will see you in the morning. Peace. Who's got it better than us? Nobody.